Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching episode 7 of season 2 of My Adventures with Superman. So in this episode, we find out exactly how Lois and Jimmy got that space shuttle that Kara Zor-El found at the end of the last episode. Turns out, they find out that Amanda Waller is putting Metropolis under martial law, basically saying that the fight between Superman and Supergirl is proof enough that she needs that the alien threat is coming from Metropolis and that Superman was never a hero to begin with, according to her. You know, trying to manipulate the masses to just get what she wants. So naturally, Lois and Jimmy decide they've got to steal a space shuttle, head to space, and make things right. And they've got to get Livewire's help in order to do that. Thankfully, they also have Monsieur Mala and the Brain, who are much more trustworthy. But there are some interesting things that happen in this episode. First of all, Livewire and Heatwave are a couple in this version. Interesting, considering this episode comes out at the end of Pride Month, but I do realize that Heatwave was a guy in the comics and Livewire was never portrayed as a lesbian beforehand, but this is a new continuity with new rules, and comics reboot things all the time, so I'm fine with a version of Livewire who's like this. Besides, their relationship is actually kind of cute in a way, so I don't mind that being part of it. On top of that, we also get our heroes basically sneaking in with Jimmy taking a guy's shift after he's been double booked. Speaking of someone who has his own job, I hate when I'm double booked for shifts at the last minute. So I can actually see how that would work, even if it is kind of ridiculous that the guard lets Jimmy do that when he's apparently a new hire, according to Jimmy, and when he, hadn't worked there ever before, and, the guard had never seen him before. It seems like the guard was a bit too trusting, even if he was desperate to see his Nana. But regardless, it is otherwise a pretty good Prison Break episode, especially considering that Deathstroke gets tons of fun moments to shine. And even though Livewire is a criminal, and actually the first opponent that this universe's Superman had to face, she does bring up good points about how love isn't for cowards. You've got to do some scary things, and you've got to push yourself beyond your limits for the person you love sometimes. That's how people know that your love is genuine, especially the person that matters to you the most. So Lois definitely needed to hear that. Plus, it is interesting how Livewire looked like she was basically going to ditch Lois and Jimmy as soon as she could, only to come back when she heard Lois and Jimmy on their communications device. Basically showing that she can't bring herself to let them die in that instance. So, yeah, I don't think this Livewire is as evil as some of her other incarnations, but considering that she started out as a shock jock in the Superman animated series, this is probably a different, but still alright enough adaptation of her character. Even if I'm, more accustomed to her being a shock jock and her portrayals in both the Superman animated series and Young Justice. But I'm open to different interpretations of the characters, and I thought this worked out well enough. So, after this episode, which was basically a big Ocean's 11 reference, we have 3 episodes left in the series. So, can Kara work with our heroes to help Superman out? We'll see. See you next time.